to TV Talk with Natasha and Kim. I am Kimberly. That is Natasha. Say hi, Natasha.
Hi.
All
Hello.
right. So we are going to kind of condense this TV Talk into 2 episodes. This episode, we're going to talk about Grimm and Helix. And we're going to start off with Grimm. This past episode that aired on Friday. What was Friday? It was the 28th of February.
Last day of February.
It is leap year, right?
No, that's when it's the 29th.
Is it?
Yeah. This isn't leap year yet.
I totally know nothing, as you can tell. But anyway, back to Grimm. So, I don't know, the episode of Grimm I really liked. I mean, did I say it before or did I not? Never trust a gypsy, as I offend all the gypsies out there. But she was not trustworthy, and she proved it. And I know, because I didn't like her to begin with. That's all I'm saying. I didn't like her to begin with. And she's in cahoots. I like that word, cahoots. She's in cahoots with the Prince wannabe.
Victor, I think that's his name.
I call him Prince wannabe because I feel like Captain Renard should be Prince and King of everything.
Well, yeah, he's technically, well, he's a bastard. So, I mean, if they go like, you know, how they did back in the day when the king had to like restore like his lineage or whatever, then yeah, he should be Prince, but he's not, and they're hating on Renard. But plus, he's in Portland. He's fine as the captain. I like him as captain.
I know, but he's in Portland because he's hiding because he can't be like, oh, I'm the prince because the people are trying to kill him. So it's just a weird, but yeah, no, I do like him in Portland as the chief, but he was kind of the captain. I call him the
captain.
The captain, he was kind of put there to kind of watch the Grimm, so it's like, I don't know, it would be weird if he went off to Vienna or wherever they are and wasn't in Portland, so I guess, but still, I think it's rightfully his. Anyway, we totally went off topic there.
Just that quick.
I know. Doesn't take much. Rosalie, I felt kind of sorry for her when they showed her and she ran back to the shop and she started crying. Because that was kind of, I mean, if you guys don't remember from the last episode, you know, she met Monroe's parents and they found out she's a Fushbog and she, you know, it didn't go well. It didn't go well, and you don't want that to happen when you love somebody and you meet their parents, your soon-to-be in-laws, and it just blows up in your face. So I felt really bad for her. That scene.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, that's a difficult thing to deal with, especially when the parents are having no leeway whatsoever, not even like a compromise. Although by the end of the episode, they started to make some kind of an effort. It was the most awkward family dinner ever.
Kind of was.
I mean, ever. I mean, the dinners that, you know, Hank, Monroe, Rosalie, you know, the gang, when they have dinner, it's fun, and they're talking about gross cases. Whereas this family dinner was just so awkward. It was even more awkward than Rosalie's family dinner.
Which was awkward. Yeah, so I want to ask you a question, because was it just me, or did they not explain what happened? Like, I'm like, oh, Monroe, your mom's a good one. She wants to make amends, and she goes to visit Rosalie, and she asked her if she would participate, and I don't remember what she called it, but I'm like, what?
I didn't write it down.
What is happening right now? Like, all they did was sniff each other or something, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, Rosalie better hope her kids like turn out to be Fushballs, because they're cuter, way cuter. But I don't know. They didn't explain what was happening, did they? Like,
It's just some kind of ritual. I don't know if it's specific to Bluebot or just when it's usually like the same kind of lesson and they do some kind of ritual where they sniff each other or do some kind of head. I don't know.
they just left it up to interpretation, and I was like, what is that? And I'm just hoping they like come back to it and they're like, oh, she mentions
By
it
the
to
way,
Monroe, by the way, I did
yeah.
this, and so we can get a little explanation there because I was a little bit lost. It was kind of weird and random, but it looks like they kind of worked things out, and you thought the mom was just going to be the one that comes to terms with everything, but the father at the end kind of, jumped in there.
Well, I mean, I think the only reason why is Monroe bothered to tell him what Nick and him were working on, which was going after a vessel called the Build-A-Share, and it's like another term for it is Kakia Morta. I heard that term as well, and it's Dead Man's Hunt. And apparently a haircut will get you killed.
Do you know, I don't even understand that. Like, as big, as strong, and as scary as they are, you cut their hair and that's it.
Apparently, according to the Grimm Wikia, apparently their hair is connected to their circulatory system. So if you cut it, they started to bleed out, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's very. I don't know. Like I was just like, that's so anticlimactic. Like I just.
Yeah. Well, I mean, considering how the whole focus was the scalp, which has hair, and they made it into a coat to make a fashion statement to make them more powerful and more in control of their vested abilities, and maybe that is an ironic way of ending them, that the Nick's ancestors found out. They didn't really test it out. They didn't get a chance to test it out. But that was the theory, and Nick went with it, and it worked because they were struggling. I mean, just the three of them, even when Dad jumped in to help them, they were still struggling.
Yeah, they tried to tie it to Samson, and I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know. I didn't see the connection, but I mean, and you're right.
You don't remember Samson's?
No,
story?
I do, but like I think it's so like I think it's just so kind of like I said, it was kind of anticlimactic, but they did cut it and they did start bleeding out, which I guess makes sense. But it was just an interesting, like, all powerful vessel.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that if anything, it would like knock them out or just make them less.
Strong,
less powerful or less strong, just so they can at least subdue them and handcuff them or something. But it was just interesting that it wasn't just the one. Like, they introduced two other Build-A-Share into the mix, and you're just like, oh crap, because Nick thought he was only dealing with one. And then like early on in the episode, that one cop who was or the park ranger was just a complete idiot. They told him not to approach them. They were very dangerous, and he does it anyway, and he gets himself killed. Like, pieces of him is strewn around the campfire.
Yeah, but in his defense, like, it wasn't until then that we knew that there was two of them.
He saw two cars.
He did see two cars, but like the warning, the thing that they had out only said that there was one. So.
Even so, I would be even just immediately be like, just to be cautious, I would bounce as soon as they got the information. Like, seriously, why would you want to approach someone like that that's armed and dangerous?
Yeah, I know, but we're logical people, or that's a park ranger. Like, I have a gun, and I mean, why would you think that a vest made out of scalps would stop bullets? Because who would think that? But obviously it does. So it's just like.
And he's a man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. As we offend men and gypsies today.
I love men.
We can call her Adeline now, because at the end it looks like she's going to get her
baby is the baby is coming, and it looks like she's getting her powers back next week. Woohoo!
Her baby is crazy, man. Pin in the eye. Did you see that? Like, it attacked that one.
He was protecting Mama.
He was, but he did, or she was like, look, I don't play. I'm gonna shove a pin in your eye, and boom.
Yes. Yes. Oh, and Miser was looking kind of hot. I'm like, if we could have just interrupted just a little bit, just to stare. There was no time, but I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You know, he is a cutie. I was looking at his tats and I was like,
yeah.
hmm.
Mm.
And I can't believe he totally like. I mean, that's exactly what. That's how you want to have a first date. I'm going to give birth right here on your. Everybody has a cottage, by the way. If you
In
live
the
in
middle of
Europe,
nowhere.
everybody has you have a cottage in the middle of nowhere.
And it was, yeah, you didn't even have a city name this time, right? It was literally in the middle of nowhere, in the woods.
But that's a great first date. I'm going to give birth right in your college, and you can deliver my baby as I scream. Um, so, yeah, no, it was. I mean, a lot happened in that episode, and you kind of get to
Mhm.
see like different side of Monroe, and there was a lot of emotion to it because he went there,
Yeah.
remember, to tell his parents, "I'm done with you. I'm going to marry Rosalie because I love her." And he got
Hmm.
a little emotional there, and it was just I don't know.
You felt bad for him because it's like, come on, guys, can you just give a little leeway? Can you just at least get to know her? Like, I know that you're traditionalists, and I'm like, did you know anyone that went through that was in a mixed relationship and it didn't work out for them? Or are you just going by hearsay and just what you've always done? And hopefully by them actually having dinner with them, that was a start. So,
Yeah, I'm glad they kind of stepped into this century, but I mean, I understand where his dad was coming from with the Grimm, just because how they were raised and they were told,
well,
and a lot
yeah,
of them were like that, where they would go. I mean, you even saw it in the very beginning with his aunt. Like
yeah,
she didn't want to be friends. Her job was to kill all these lesson that she came across, and so I can see where he was coming from because he didn't know Nick, but you got to listen to your son when you say, look, we're friends. I'm helping him, and he's like, well, you're helping him kill our kind. Well, not all your kind is good, just like not all humans are good. He's a cop.
yeah.
So
I mean, but I don't think his dad really realized that. And hopefully through the dinner, Nick can kind of explain, like, I'm not just killing Besson to be killing Besson. Um, they have to be doing something like against the law for me to even go after them. And half the time, at least the majority of the time, they're in jail. Like, he handcuffs them and they're in jail. Sometimes he winds up killing them because that's what it boils down to. And it depends on the seriousness of the crime. Like the Build-A-Share, like, they had to be stopped.
yeah, I can see that, but Nick gets that a lot. You remember Captain Renard had that
Yeah,
outburst
yeah,
about, are you just upset because you killed a human and not a Besson? So it's like he's kind of got to get over that hurdle because everybody expects him to be a certain way and he's just not. Um,
no.
so it'll be interesting. Uh,
Yeah. I think you were talking about Nick's mom, not his aunt. Oh yeah, his aunt was
his aunt.
like that,
Mhm.
but she like died the first episode. You didn't really get to see her too much fighting.
Yeah, but you
Lesson.
saw the way that she talked to Monroe, and so you could tell
True.
like she didn't care. She's like there is no good lesson but a dead lesson. So she had that total attitude.
Yeah.
So but Nick's not like that. Like I said, he's a cop, so by nature he's not like that. So like I said, it'll be interesting. He's got to get over that
Oh
little
yeah.
hurdle.
You hardly saw Hank in this episode, and Woo.
Yes, but they were tweeting some stuff today about, Woo fans get ready for next week, so I'm excited about that.
Apparently we're gonna have a Woo-centric episode. Maybe this is his way of knowing about the gang and the Besson world.
Yep. So
Finally! Hopefully!
that's what we have to look forward to, guys. So hopefully next week that's what we'll be talking about. Woo! Just like
Woo.
that.
Yeah, just Woo.
um, so Helix. Let's
Oh,
move
Lord.
on to Helix. Oh
Level
God.
X, day 9. Hitaki, just keeps on revealing stuff
I can't.
in each episode. Like, there's another level, and apparently that's how the Vectors have been traveling, or were able to travel through vents, because there's another level, a lower level. And no one really thought of this before about freezing them so they can get what they need to get. And that dude from a few episodes ago that helped Alan freeze Peter, he took the Narnex or the Narn B or whatever, the Narc, the vial.
Can't trust anybody.
Oh, I'm like, what is going on? Yeah.
Well, yeah, Shakespearean, man. I mean, Taki just, and it's hard for me to feel sorry for him. Like when he finally had that confrontation with Julia.
Yeah.
I felt sorry for him, but I didn't because he keeps lying. First of all, is that his biological daughter? Because she's like a foot taller than he is, and
Stop it.
I know. I know. Shame on me. But and if you look at who they said her mother was, the girl that she was imagining, none of them. I mean, she doesn't even. I don't know. There's no resemblance there to me at all.
Actually, I thought her mom looked a little bit like her. Like they had like similar features a little bit. Maybe it was just me,
She had blue eyes.
And
she didn't have high cheekbones or any kind of angular face. Like, well, I guess
that was Sataki. Jeez, man.
She's a foot taller than that girl too. I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm being too picky. But
yeah, you're being too picky about DNA.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting point because, like, whose DNA? Like, what? Okay, so now, like, it's not what she was injected with that made her eyes silver. What is it? It's a family trait.
Well, did it help it along, like move faster or something? Like what Hitaki gave her? I don't know. And he looks like an alien. I'm like, is he an alien now? I'm confused. What is going on?
He looks really crazy with those contacts, doesn't he? It made me want those contacts, but I could never get them in my eyes. I'd be like, wait. But no, I don't know. I want to know now. Like, now. I want to know if they're not human or what's going on. So,
and we should have known that little place in Montana that Julia thought that's where she was the entire time. No, it was at the base.
I thought
there was a replica that they found later on in the episode as the Vectors were waking up, and I'm like, really? Yeah. I surprised there.
Yeah, no, it didn't. I thought about that as soon as I saw, and this was just like 2 minutes before they revealed it, but when they showed her initials on the ground again, I'm like, oh my gosh. I know what's down there. But I want to know, like, I just, why was she there? Like, I don't know. It's so crazy.
Well,
and
go ahead.
Well, he created the, like, virus, like, that, and he drops that bomb, too, on Alan. I'm like, just punch him in the face. I would punch him in the face out of, like, spite. He would make me so angry, because all this matter of fact, oh, by the way, I created this.
Well, I mean, Alan should have figured that out anyway. Like, really? Let's be for real.
I even wrote that in my notes. I would have punched Daki in the face right there on my notes.
And Sarah is, again, useless. I'm just saying.
Oh, what are you talking about? They used her as bait. She had a use. And Daki's going to be like, how could you not know she had a tumor? I'm like, let's talk about the things that you didn't know, and then talk about the things that you messed up with. Don't come to me about how could you know? How could you not know?
And Daniel just, like, disappeared, and no one realized that he was missing.
I know. He drove like 40 miles away and he disappeared. I'm like, what?
Save this village, which was pretty cool, by the way. It's just so reverse of how they were earlier in the season. Like, they were hating on each other, and they were trying to kill each other, and now they were trying to work together because of the sister. What do you think is going to happen with that? Like, she has her two brothers, and Belisario, whose girlfriend died, like, was it the last episode? Like, he doesn't seem to be mourning her, like, at all.
He doesn't. Because I don't know if it was genuine or it was.
It was just good sex.
That guy's a mess. That guy's a mess. You can't tell where his loyalty's lying.
I know.
So,
and he has such pretty eyes.
He does.
It was like he was starting to redeem himself a little bit. I'm not quite there yet because I miss Dr. Boyle still.
Yes, we're still mad at that.
Yeah, we're still mad at that. Like, yeah. Although I thought it was pretty interesting how he escaped, and at least he got the information from the guy before he killed him, because otherwise they wouldn't have known.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I would be so mad because he could help. Doggy could have helped them be working on a cure. If he created it, he knows how to help cure it, and he's just sitting there letting people die, and that kind of makes me a little angry because people are dying. But oh my gosh, that ritual where they brought oh God, what's his name? Peter back. I almost gagged. I was like, I was getting
that was kind of gross. I was just like, oh man,
like, okay, you need to eat before
you should have known that. You should have known that, Kim. Come on now. We're dealing with vectors that got black stuff coming out of their mouths, and they like to puke on people, like, inside the mouths to try and infect people and tear them up. Yeah, that's a little gross.
And Peter is their leader, obviously.
Yeah, and Julia was tripping me out like, I got this. Like, I'll just look at him, and they're scared. Like, even Peter was kind of, like, backing up a little bit. I'm like, dang. What is this? I need to know.
You know, when Taki, I knew he was going to say it too, when he starts taking out his contacts and he says, you have your father's eyes, I was like, all I heard was Darth Vader saying, I am your father. I mean, I think he morphed into Darth Vader in front of my eyes, and then she morphed into Luke screaming, no! Just like that. Spoilers for those who've never seen Star Wars. You should also be ashamed of yourself if you haven't.
Really? I mean, you would have heard about it somehow, some way, if you know someone that have at least seen the movie. Come on now.
Right. So I was like, oh, blah, 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 and he got all sad, and she ran away, and I'm like, come on, suck it up. I want to know. I want to know if 7 of 9. I know. I like to call her 7 of 9. Constance, was it
Yeah, Sutton.
Yeah,
that's her last name. Yeah, let's call her Sutton.
Was she her sister? Were they related? Like, I don't know. I want to know. And do you remember the doctor that, the first doctor that was just the head? Did he have the silver eyes?
I couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell either.
I really couldn't tell, and I'm like, what the heck did he do to get his head chopped off? That seems to be the way to go if you're gonna do something that Hatake doesn't want you to do.
I know, that better not have been his daughter, because he shouldn't have done that to his daughter. That's crazy.
Maybe it's one of his adopted kids, like Daniel.
Well, if Daniel's eyes turn silver, I'm gonna be mad.
So far, he hasn't. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't even know. Wouldn't surprise me. Hatake doesn't tell him jack. I mean, why would he tell him that he was kidnapped from his village years ago? And I just raised you like a son.
I know, and I hope they dive into what happened with the other kids, because he's like, I never thought about it. Like, kids came and went, and I'm like, what? I mean, how did you never think about it? I don't understand that, but I hope to hear a little bit more about that too, and I'm sure they will.
Go back? Like, does he even want to go back at this point? Should the village maybe move someplace else so they don't try and find them again?
Well, and Dr. Walker, my gosh, it's like, okay, well, obviously she grew up and she went to college. So it's like, how did she get from, okay, she only spent the summers in Montana. Would they drug her and then put her on a plane and take her out of the Arctic and back to, like, wherever she was? And then you, like, I just don't understand how you cannot know you're in the Arctic.
If anything, Hitaki did something to help erase her memory, and so she wound up getting an education someplace else, and now she's working for the CDC. I mean, he's been following her. He's been stalking her all these years, it seems like. So, question. Did he request her specifically, or was that just happened to be a coincidence? Because it seems to be all about Julia.
I don't know, because and I don't know if he was just lying or what, but he said he did not, because Sutton was grilling him about her, and he's like, well, all these other people you have, all this stuff on, and he's like, I did not request her, or I did not approve her, or something like that. So I don't know.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's just interesting because it seems like, at least to me, he wanted her back somehow, some way. I don't know.
I don't think he wanted her there for some reason. I feel like he thought she'd be in danger if she came there, and she did anyway.
Well, she was.
But I could be wrong, and I don't know. If I was her, I would just, like, grab that little man and be like, you tell me the truth right now. Stop dodging the questions. I'm a foot taller than you.
Okay, is anyone going to be changing clothes soon?
No, they all smell.
I'm like, has anyone taken a shower in the last few days?
No.
I mean, Julia, okay, maybe Julia did. I think I recall her being in the bathroom at some point. But then she wore the same clothes. So, was that the only clothes that they have? I'm confused.
They wash every day.
Yeah, they wash their clothes every day.
Sarah spilled the beans all drugged up, and I was like, awkward.
Awkward.
I was like, that's an awkward moment. Julia was over there smiling, saying, it's okay.
And then she's like,
I'm going to go now.
Wasn't she like, I wish I could sleep with you again, or I'm sorry that we slept together or something?
No, she said, sleep with me again.
Sleep with me again. See? We knew it. We're women. We know. We know it when a woman's trying to all front and be like, oh, well, I didn't care. It was just sex. No, you care. You care.
Well, yeah, she obviously cared.
I mean, it was obvious that she had a crush on the man. I mean, really.
Yeah, I'm sure he knew that too. He just kind of ignored it, like, or didn't want to believe it. But
well, no, he took advantage of it. Let's be for real.
Okay, but she's a big girl too. She didn't have to. She knew it. Okay, no, I don't want to get into it. But I mean, you could just. She doesn't, and she has all those things wrong with her, and that's the thing too. I mean, Doggy was right. How could you not know? She has as many issues as she does. You could see the signs. I just.
He chose to ignore them. Like, he chose to ignore that she had a crush on him and didn't care. He still had sex with her. And
she asked for it.
I know she asked for it. Also, this is why she immediately goes into her seizure, like, right after she manages to turn off the, switches and stuff to freeze the entire base. Like, really? And Hitaki was probably like, why did I get stuck with her? Seriously?
Right? He's like, are you
serious?
His face said it all.
His face said it all.
That's why he was so mad. You leave me with her. I was like, please do not inject her with anything, Hitaki, please. I just can't take it.
Yeah, don't cure her with anything. Oh,
so it'll be interesting to see where that's going. I hope this next episode, if I don't get some more answers from Hitaki, I'm going to be mad. Like, Julia needs to just be like, in his face, talk about, I need to know from the beginning, 1, 2, 3, go. Like, I want answers. Don't go this whole episode with the next episode with them ignoring certain things because they have a bigger issue. No. Right now, tell me. Because in real life, she would be like, now. As in right now. We're not going to put this conversation off anymore.
No, and let's have it as a group. But now, of course, we're distracted because of Sarah. We're trying to cure Sarah. See, I'm telling you, stop it.
Sarah.
Dr. Bull should have stayed. I'm telling you.
You are so bitter.
I am bitter.
Oh, Daddy Willie does not like Sarah. At all.
Sorry. I mean, really? I don't care about your side story. I'm sorry. I care more. I care more about Julia and Alan and Peter and Hitaki and Daniel. I care more about Daniel and Belisarius. I mean, come on.
You're like, get off the screen.
That's probably a credit to the actress.
Get off the screen. Next. We DVR this. She fast forwards through all those parts. Just so you know, everybody.
No.
Mute. Okay, well, hopefully next week we see a little bit of Sarah and a whole lot of everybody else.
I know, right? Oh, boy.
Just throw her out there as bait, unconscious. You know what? She might be unconscious, so we might not even have this, issue.
No, it looked like she was going into seizures again in the next episode. I'm like, really?
Well, I thought, when they're going to put her in one of those suits or something, to kind of put her in ice?
Yeah, because Peter was silent for a very long time.
Poor Sarah. Oh, you just misunderstood.
She hardly talked anyway. She hardly talked anyway.
Oh my gosh. We are sorry to all those fans of Sarah out there.
You know what? I don't know if they just did a little more with their character, maybe I would like her more. I don't know. I like Dr. Boyle better. So when they killed Dr. Boyle, I was very upset, and I'm still upset. So it's kind of like Sarah and Dr. Boyle. If you had to spend someone. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Hopefully, I'm just assuming that she's going to. There's a reason why she's there, and it's going to come into play later. And if it never does, then she's just there for.
Then she will be redeemed in my eyes. Otherwise, she's just there.
Yeah, she could just be there for male's eye candy or something like that. I don't know. They do that sometimes. And I don't know.
Yeah, and they have one sex scene. I mean, really?
I don't know. I just refuse to believe that she has no added value, so I'm just holding on to hope, because if we get to the end and there's nothing there, I'm just going to be like, I can't believe this happened. So...
I mean, it seems to be all about Julia, so I mean, what does she have to contribute?
It really is all about Julia. So...
I mean, you got the two brothers, you got her daddy, I mean, and she seems to be special, so, I mean, yeah.
I know the very last episode, Sarah's going to save the day, and you're just going to be like, oh.
Oh, boo.
You are. And then we're going to immediately do the show right after that, so you can just talk about it. It's going to be awesome. You guys, so wait for that. The very last episode of Helix, you wait for it, guys.
We need to get Michelle into it since she did the first review. Yeah.
So look forward to that. So next week, hopefully, we're going to see a little about Sarah, a lot about everybody else, and we need to find more out about why Julia was there as a child, because that's what I want to know, and I don't want to wait any longer, so don't keep me waiting. And then maybe we'll see some about the vectors and how they're mobilizing, which is a little scary. When they mobilize with the plan, that's actually
and they
terrifying.
throw up on their master.
Ew, God.
Revive them.
So disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So look for that, and check out our next episode where we're going to end up doing what we're going to do, like 2 followings and 2 Teen Wolves, to get that done, to get caught up there. So that'll be coming up. We'll call that episode, what are we, 17? 17 point.
I lost count.
Yeah. It's going to be whatever this episode is, point 2 or point 5. I haven't decided yet. Check it out and you'll find out. Okay, guys. All right. As usual, you can find me at Anime23, or you can find both of us at The Nerd Element, and Natasha.
Willcat12.
And she live tweets a lot. She live tweets both under Willcat12 and at The Nerd Element. So I'll look for that. All right, guys. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.